Welcome to Gross Anatomy. I'm Dr. Jason Cohen.
I'm not doctor, but I'm Raya O'Neill.
And today we're talking about an episode of Harry Potter. No, we're actually not talking about Harry Potter. We're talking about a TV show called Good Sam, a medical show about Good Sam.
It's a new doctor show, another one.
Yeah, another new doctor show that started in January. And the whole reason I mentioned Harry Potter, do you know why I mentioned Harry Potter?
No.
You don't?
Is he in it? Is the doctor in it?
The guy, the dad character, the main surgeon, he was Lucius Malfoy, the father of Draco Malfoy.
Oh my gosh, was he?
Villains in Harry Potter.
I gotta look again. I mean, now he's older.
Yeah, he's older and he doesn't have the long hair and he's speaking in an American accent as opposed to his British accent.
That's why. And I guess it fits well because he's kind of, I guess, a villain in the show, if you call it.
He's villainy, but I actually kind of, we're going to eventually like him, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Good Sam. So what do you think about it? Are you, first of all, are you a TV show person?
Yes, but honestly, the last couple of months, I haven't been watching as much TV as I normally do, but I love Sophia Bush.
What else is she in?
Well, she was in One Tree Hill, which I was obsessed with in middle school.
Never saw that. I think I'm a little too old.
Yeah, I think it's it might be gone on Netflix. And then she was in Chicago PD. I think Chicago PD, which I never watched, but I know people like that.
Is she related to the Bush family?
I don't think so. No, I don't think there's any relation.
Okay. Yeah, she has this familiarity to her, but I don't know what I think about her. I don't dislike her, but she doesn't draw me in, I have to say.
Wait, maybe she was in Chicago Med. Yeah, maybe because I know her just from other drama shows that had a medical background. I'm not crazy about her as in this role, but I do like her.
Yeah.
It's so every medical show I watch now, I just relate it to Grey's Anatomy because I think that was a big blueprint for a lot of these newer shows.
For sure. Did you ever see House MD? Did you ever watch House?
House sometimes, yeah.
So I feel like this show is a little housey. It's a little, it's got a Grey's Anatomy meets House kind of feel.
Yeah.
It's like the tricky case, try to figure it out kind of thing. So what do you think of the show?
I like it. I'd probably watch the second one. I
would watch the second one just to kind of just watch the evolution of their relationship, the father-daughter relationship. But I'm not sure. I really like Jason Isaac. I like him as this character, the dad heart surgeon guy. I like that. I like him. Do you like him?
I like him. It's it's a mix of Grey's Anatomy with all the family ties that they all work in the hospital. Then it's a little bit of Succession, toxic father-daughter relationship.
Right.
Falls into a coma.
Yeah, because we're watching Succession now. We're in our final third season of Succession, and I definitely kind of see the same toxic father-kid relationship. So I definitely see that element of Succession in there. Although this guy you see him have some love, whereas the dad in Succession, I don't think he knows how to love at all.
Well, from a medical standpoint, what flaws did you see?
It's crazy fun. The whole show. Yeah, that's what really, the cool disease that they found, this disease, an infectious disease. That was fun. And that kind of reminded me of House. The patient comes in with this thing on his lip and he's has this major heart issue and eventually needs a heart transplant. And they figured it out that he was down in Brazil where he contracted this parasite. And so that whole part is fun. But just so much of the whole hierarchy of, she was just, the show starts out where she's his fellow, she's in training.
Yeah.
And then somehow she becomes the head. You don't go from being not at a big hospital like that, with money and donors. You don't go from being a trainee 6 months later to being the boss. There's no way that there aren't other surgeons who are going to take that role. So that was just nuts from going to it. You know, it could have been that she's the junior attending or something like that, but they made her the trainee, you know, the highest level of training, but still, she's still a trainee. And it's, so that I thought was nuts. And then all the other doctors, part of her team, were all trainees also below her. And it's just so unclear and so weird. I think they were all residents, because before he gets, you know, the whole premise is he gets shot, he's the boss, he gets shot, and now she becomes a boss. So The whole pre-shot thing, he sets it up saying that they're all idiot trainees. And all of a sudden they're not trained, you know, and so that part was really not accurate. And the other thing is they have them do as trainees when we're doing our we go to medical school, then we do our residency. So they're presumably all residents. When we do our residency, we're residents within a specific specialty, and you're all different years. And their tasks seemed to be like House MD, like they're doing everything and anything. And so it just kind of seemed a little make-believey, that whole thing, the hierarchy stuff.
Yeah.
Did it bother you at all? You didn't even notice it?
Well, no, it's kind of like, it wouldn't even happen this quick. First of all, of course, the daughter gets it. Like, there wouldn't be all this nepotism, like the father's the head of the chief of staff, whatever he was. Then the daughter, then the mom, the ex-wife is working in the corporate
office. It's like the
office.
head of the hospital, the mom. No, the mom's like the head of the hospital.
Head of
That's
the hospital.
What was really bizarre. Yeah, the mom's the head of the hospital. The dad's the head of surgery or cardiac surgery. And then, that was really weird too. I mean, let's open a family hospital.
Exactly.
You know, that's kind of, that was also very bizarre. And I don't know, maybe I was looking to see, the writer, but I don't think there's anything based on truth of that. I could do a little more research to see, are there family hospitals like that where the mom owns and runs the hospital, the dad's the head of surgery, I don't know. It just kind of seemed a little too nutty. So it bothered you a little, or not really?
Not really, because I really think it's like copying Grey's. Like Grey's is the same type of thing, kind of.
Right. It was, and House. It was copying Grey's and House a little bit, where they all do everything, but then even as a surgeon, as a doctor, it's one of the whole reasons why I like doing this podcast is to watch this stuff and be like, no way. So they're all scrubbing up at one point. First of all, they wouldn't all be scrubbing up. That would never happen. At the very beginning of the show, all like 5 of them are scrubbing. But not only are they scrubbing, none of them are wearing masks or caps even, and I know a lot of medical shows have them scrubbing up before they put the mask on, so you can see their faces. But that is so not how it's done. I mean, you could have conversations at the scrub sink and then you put your cap and your mask on. But the fact that they're scrubbing up, getting sterile without their mask and gown, that stuff so bothers me. But
really?
I guess it so bothers me.
What about the way they are finding out what is wrong, like that little, like their whiteboard, but the new age whiteboard?
I like the new age whiteboard. That's pretty cool. But what about the whiteboard though?
Have you seen that? Do you use that?
No, and I haven't seen tablets either, but I'm sure there are tablets. They go around with their tablets and things. People, when they're in the ICU, everybody's on like a computer or a couple of, so it's possible. I'm a little far removed from that. So it is possible that everybody goes around with a tablet. The big TV screen thing is pretty cool. I don't know. There may be places where they're doing that kind of thing. I think it's still maybe a little futuristic, but I could be wrong. I don't see it where I am. But again, everybody is on the computer and they're putting their notes in the computer and looking at the computer. But I don't, and everybody has info on their phones too, but the tablet thing is pretty interesting. Maybe that is happening in some place. It must be, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's watch episode 2. I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I am kind of curious too. The other few things that bothered me were, they're doing that heart surgery. Blows my mind also. Hey, let's go, do a a high dive off the diving board, then go, run a marathon and an Ironman, and then let's do heart surgery and brain surgery. I mean, that was
and how quick the heart was available. I thought those lists could take years.
Yeah, but some of that stuff could happen like overnight. Like some of that stuff could be chance, weird stuff for sure. So that didn't bother me as much. Other than, did you notice the dad walks in?
I was just going to say,
operating room in his suit.
Yeah,
he comes in his suit. Even if somehow someone walked into the suit, everybody would freak out because you'd be like, "You're going to get this patient infected." Yeah, there's no sterility. Like why didn't that become an issue? You're going to infect this patient by walking in your suit, idiot. You know what I mean? Like, especially so that was just ridiculous. I mean, dramatic but ridiculous. Like he could have been putting on a gown but I guess, they're trying to make everything concise and do all of that stuff.
Dramified.
Yeah. So that was pretty silly. And then, but even some of the technical stuff, I saw them give her a suture to sew the heart, and the suture they gave her was by no means, they gave her this big white strand of suture that no way would they be sewing a heart with, especially a little pediatric heart. They'd be it would probably be blue. The color of the suture would be blue, which I think would be cool. So it should be this little fine, thin, tiny stitch that's blue, and not this white, big, giant thread. So even stupid stuff like that. I'm like, what? Did they deliver? Did the medical advisor say, no, you don't use that? But then the dramatic person said, oh, we need drama. Let's use the big white stitch. Or is it just not thought of? Hey, find me any stitch. Let's use a stitch. So stupid stuff like that bothers me. but people don't even notice, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just bothers me. If you played volleyball, right? In high school or college, right? So if you're ever watching a show with volleyball or something and they do something ridiculous, does it bother you?
Yeah, but I'm also the director or the creative director or whatever is probably the percentage of people that are going to see this error is so much smaller than the people actually watching it. So who cares?
I guess it's just who knows? But it could even be more dramatic, to use something more authentic.
Yeah.
So all those little ridiculous things sometimes annoy me and bother me. But the supporting players, what do you think of the supporting players?
I like them. I think they're doing their job. It's going to be interesting that her friend, well, this is a spoiler, the friend, I guess, had a relationship with her father.
Yeah, her best friend stooping the dad. I love that.
Kind of weird, but
yeah, kind of weird.
It'll be interesting.
And then, what do you think about the hospital administrator? The cute black hospital administrator guy who's trying to. I like it. He's one of my favorite characters, actually. I
feel like I've seen him in something too recently.
Yeah, but he's got of all the characters, he's the only one that I feel like I want to watch. All the other supporting characters, other than the dad and her. He's someone who appeals to me physically. He's someone he's got swagger kind of thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to see more of him.
There's some mystery behind him. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching actually.
You're okay. So we could do a recap of another episode then.
Yeah, let's keep watching.
Yeah, and there you go.
I got this. It's a bee immune throat spray. So there's this bee company. It's called Beekeepers Naturals. Have you heard of it? It's a superfood honey. They do propolis. I don't even know what propolis is.
It's proper and it's liss. No, I don't know. Nobody knows.
That's what I thought. It's grade B honey. So they have this immune throat spray with bee propolis, purified water, vegetable glycerin. Can't be good, but I always do a little spritz in the mornings to boost.
A little spritz. You got to do it. Interestingly, honey does have medicinal healing properties. They use something called Medi honey, which is a form of honey. It's basically honey that they put on wounds. We found that it actually helps heal wounds. I don't know the science behind it, but and I don't know if it works for everything, and I don't know if you need certain things, but there's something called Medi honey, and there is some benefit to putting honey or healing properties of honey.
I love honey. Well, I know when people have sore throats, they eat a spoonful of honey.
Yeah, well, it's yummy. But what's interesting is, I do try to strive to be as plant-based as possible. And honey is one of those controversial things in the vegan world. So pure, real vegans won't use honey.
I know.
But some vegans will use honey. I, oddly enough, just because I know about it, I use less honey lately. But I don't have a problem with honey. I really don't. I don't. Because I don't think it's harmful. We're not killing the bees. In fact, it's okay. So. But it's interesting that pure vegans don't use honey.
I know. I have a honey. I'm like a honey addict.
Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of being plant-based, I thought of you because when I was vegetarian, pescatarian for a while, I would go through different bits of being vegan, and I wouldn't even eat eggs, and I love eggs. I just had eggs this morning. But have you ever had Just Egg?
I'm not sure. I've seen that company, but
I'm pulling it out really quick because
So did you have a Just Egg or did you have eggs?
I had real eggs this morning because I went to the farmer's market and I got fresh eggs.
What'd you have?
I just did scrambled eggs and spinach.
Nice.
But this is you guys can't see that are listening, but it's Just Egg.
I've seen it. Well, we could do a screenshot of Just Eggs.
Yeah, and I really liked it. I always would have it with spinach and like a bit like.
So what is it? It's a liquid?
It's a plant-based scramble, and it's made from mung beans.
But that looks like it's in a mustard bottle. So what do you do?
The bottle's stained yellow to make it look like, aesthetically.
Right.
But you just like pour in. You're supposed to measure, but I just do I eyeball it. It does have soy, so if you're gluten-free,
Wait, but it's a liquid. It's a liquid in there?
It's a liquid, yeah. It's mung bean protein isolate.
And you basically use it like you could make a scrambled egg out of that, or you could if a recipe calls for egg, you put in a little of that, or could you make an omelet with that too? You actually probably could. You just have to pour a little bit more than it says. I always use scrambled eggs, and it's pretty tasty. I like it. I'll have to try that. I've seen it, but I haven't tried it. And a lot of recipes call for egg, and you need some kind of good substitute. So that's a good substitute, eh? Good substitute. If you're cooking or baking with eggs, rather, have you ever used or you can make it aquafaba? No. Aquaman, I like, but aquafaba is it's the liquid brine, I guess, from chickpeas. You get a can of chickpeas and you just pour the liquid out and you just whip it for a few minutes and it turns into this like foamy like egg substitute. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know that, and I love chickpeas, so that's good to know. Chickpeas are I'm sure you know. What do chickpeas become when you blend them? Hummus. Exactly. Hummus. Yeah. Or as we say, hummus. It's funny. One of Liat's friends, my daughter, who you know, years ago, we're all Californians. So years ago, she was at a meal at our house, and I said to her, and she's Israeli, her parents are Israeli. So I said, please pass the hummus. And she goes to me, her friend Leary, her friend Leary? Yeah. Leary goes to me, hummus, and looks at me all like, what's wrong with you? Hummus, it's hummus, It's like, oh, sorry. So now every time I say hummus, I think of Leary, her correcting me, telling me it's hummus. Hummus. Yes. Which we love hummus. Yeah, we do love hummus. Yeah, which is from the Zohan, where they put everything. Hummus goes on everything in the Zohan. Do you remember the Zohan with Adam Sandler? Yes, but no. I do. I know, but I've seen it once. I mean, everything. I forgot you're a big Adam Sandler fan. But I'm a movie fan. That's the whole thing. But it's all about Adam Sandler and hummus. So yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say. So Just Egg, sponsor us, Just Egg. There you go. I know you're begging to sponsor us. We'll let you. It's okay. I'm willing. I think they also do Just Mayo. I think they do the eggless mayo. Really? Well, not Hellman's. What's the other company? The East Coast version is Hellman's, and the West Coast version is Best Foods. They make a really good vegan mayo. Oh, really? Yeah. I like that. I use that mayo. It's probably horrible for you and has all these chemicals and things like that. But I do like it. I got to use my Just Egg. I have until May 2nd. Can you believe it's actually already May? Tomorrow's May. It's crazy. My daughter, who's away in Israel, will be home in less than 3 weeks already, which is nuts. Wow. It's crazy.
And actually, May, I said this has soy, and May is Celiac Disease Awareness Month.
Hey.
Shout out to the gluten-free peeps.
There you go. And today, you know, what's interesting, I have the news on today, and today in Griffith Park in California, they're doing PanCan Purple Stride. As I hiccup, PanCan Purple Stride. So they're doing like a walk run thing in honor support of pancreatic cancer, and that's today. So just talking about things and events, and that was happening today, and I saw it on the news. It's a whole big walk run to raise awareness and raise money for pancreatic cancer, which unfortunately tends to be a pretty tough cancer to get. Usually for the reason that often when it's found, most of the time it's usually picked up late because it doesn't usually have symptoms early on. It usually doesn't get symptoms until later when it's already kind of advanced and hard to remove. So we're doing better with it. There's more and more therapies and treatments for it. And shout out to pancreatic cancer and all of the people who are doing that thing. All right. I think that was a good episode. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on Gross Anatomy.
Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day.
That's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Gross Anatomy, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can check out more episodes on the evolving sights, smells, and sounds of medicine. Gross Anatomy is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition.